Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney, and today is Tuesday, June 14th. Thank you for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. These are the stories that matter most to you here in Northeast Ohio on 3 News Now. We know that because these are the stories that you are clicking on, reading, and sharing from our website and from our app. And with that, we'll start with new news today with a reaction from Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. This is after a report came out of Houston yesterday that attorney Tony Buzbee is planning to file 2 more sexual assault civil lawsuits against Deshaun Watson. That would bring the total to 26. Tony Buzbee representing 23 other women. There is another woman represented by a different attorney who has already filed a 24th lawsuit, and now we are expecting a 25th and a 26th. So today, Deshaun Watson spoke with the media for the first time since his initial announcement of his signing with the Cleveland Browns, and he reiterated that he says that he never assaulted, disrespected, or harassed anyone. And when asked about his depositions, he said that he answered every question truthfully in those depositions related to those civil lawsuits that have already been filed. He also went on to say, "I never forced anyone to do anything." Now, we are talking about this more and more as a recent report came out from the New York Times that alleged that he had actually seen more massage therapists than he said that he had. So he was asked about that when talking with the media today, and he said from what he and his attorneys went through, he did not think the New York Times number, which was 66, was accurate, but he also said that that's more of a legal question that he can't really get into details about. He was also asked about his statement back in March, that's when that press conference was, that he had no regrets, and what he did say today was that he had remorse about the impact that this has had on the community, and he went on to say that he knows the allegations are very serious. Here's a quote directly from Deshaun Watson. "My biggest thing is just wanting to clear my name so I can get back to being in the environment I'm most comfortable in, and that's being in the community and helping people." Now, here's what we know so far about the forthcoming lawsuits, numbers 25 and 26. It appears that one of the lawsuits came from an Atlanta attorney that was referred to Tony Buzbee. Now, we do not know if that means that this massage therapist is in Atlanta, but we do have that information. And then also the 26th is someone who is being reported as having come forward after having been inspired by the HBO Real Sports special, where 2 accusers against Deshaun Watson came forward and told their side of the story. Now, again, Tony Buzbee has said there is no timeline on when to expect these 2 new lawsuits. This is a continuously developing story, and as we have more information, we will bring that to you. Here is some information from Akron Police. They are asking for your help. They released surveillance video today of an incident from last month that happened on May 30th, where 3 people can be seen vandalizing the Shaw JCC facility. That's the Jewish Community Center. And what the video appears to show is a man and 2 women climbing a fence surrounding a pool and vandalizing the facility. They're accused of breaking windows, setting off fire extinguishers, and spray painting obscenities on the pool deck and also on signs. So police say these 3 people arrived in a black minivan, and anyone with information is asked to call Akron Police Detective T. Kelly. That phone number is 330-375-2464. You can also call the Summit County Crime Stoppers at 330-434-2677, and you can remain anonymous. Now that we are on the other side of it, let's talk a little bit about the overnight storms. Lots of people woke up without power this morning. First Energy reported more than 55,000 power outages statewide. That was as of 5:20 a.m. So at 3 p.m. in Northeast Ohio, Richland County had almost 15,000 people without power. Ashland had close to 7,000 without power, and Huron had more than 2,000 without power. So Richland and Ashland, the hardest hit there. Now let's talk about what happened in Holmes County. The sheriff issued a level 3 travel advisory after the overnight storms. And what that means is that no one except for emergency vehicles are supposed to be on the roads as crews work to clear damage from that severe weather. And that's a focus as we head into some pretty intense heat that's coming in the next couple of days. Also in Holmes County, there's a Christian camp that says access was cut off to the property because of some debris that fell down. It's Skyview Ranch, and this is on Township Road 319 in Millersburg. They said they're thanking God for his protection, and thanks to quick thinking from the camp staff, the children who are there are all okay, and while they get things cleaned up, they're asking for people's patience. So here's what we know from camp officials. They're planning to suspend this week's camp activities once they can safely get parents back together with their children. And they have some photos that they've shared on social media. We have them on WKYC.com. You can see lots of things down, and you can see why, they need to take some time to clean these things up. Also, in Wayne County, the engineer's office said several roads in the area have high water with downed trees and power lines. That can be a very dangerous situation. So they said, as of 12:30 today, they said, please avoid unnecessary travel so that crews can start those repairs. Now, with that severe weather behind us in the form of the rain that came down and the debris that's left over, now we look toward some intense heat that's coming. So the National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory that's for all of Northeast Ohio. That goes into effect tomorrow, Wednesday at 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. And the heat index values will top 100 degrees. So very, very warm. 3 News meteorologist Holly Strano talked about it this morning, and she said the heat could break records with actual air temperatures in the mid to upper 90s, and it will feel like around 111 degrees. That, my friends, is very hot. So the National Weather Service advises drink plenty of fluids, stay in an air-conditioned room if you can, stay out of the sun, check up on relatives and neighbors. Young children and pets should not be left unattended in vehicles under any circumstances. Those things heat up very quickly, and when it's hot outside, it is even hotter inside of those vehicles. So take extra precautions, and if you have to work or spend time outside, take extra precautions for yourself. If you have to do any strenuous activities, it's advised that you schedule them early in the morning or in the evening. And on that note, we do have some community cooling centers here in Northeast Ohio around town, and they are extending their hours with the high temperatures coming. So we've got a list on WKYC.com so that people who are seeking a way to get out of that heat can do so. We have particular information for Akron, Cleveland, and Canton. You can check that out again on WKYC.com and the WKYC app. Okay, now let's talk sports. Let's talk basketball. Our 3 News contributor Danny Cunningham is taking a look at the upcoming NBA draft and has put together a mock draft because the actual 2022 NBA draft, it's less than 10 days away now, and the Cleveland Cavaliers have the 14th overall pick. Now, it could go a lot of different ways, obviously, but Danny has laid out one of the ways that it could go on WKYC.com, and of course, a lot depends on what happens with the first 13 selections, but if you take a look at his mock draft, at number 14, he has the Cavaliers taking Malachi Branham, who is a guard from Ohio State. And he says if the board falls the way he is saying it possibly could, that would be a pretty close to ideal situation for the Cavaliers, and he could be the best player on the board at that time to help the team improve its three-point shooting and perimeter defense. He says for those particular issues, Ohio State's Branham could be the answer. He also says he's a good defender thanks to his length, and he can defend both backcourt players and certain small forwards in the NBA. But the downside is this wouldn't necessarily fix the Cavaliers' issue on the wing, but a pick like this at number 14 could be a tell as to what the team plans to do with restricted free agent Colin Sexton this summer. So again, less than 10 days away for the NBA draft, and that's when we will find out what is really going down. And if you like barbecue, I have good news for you because one of our own, celebrity chef Michael Symon, he's got a new show coming out on the Food Network. It is called Barbecue USA. It'll be 6 episodes, and he is taking a look at the world of competitive barbecue grilling, and he'll be going to competitions in hot spots like Georgia, Texas, and Memphis, also Alabama, Kansas, and New Jersey. Here's what Michael Symon said about it himself. Having the chance to travel the country and watch these Q stars compete on the grandest barbecue stage was a dream come true. I love a good old-fashioned culinary showdown. It doesn't matter if it's pork, chicken, or ribs. There is nothing better than getting over the grill or smoker in the summertime to show off your skills while interacting with the dedicated fan base that bring these barbecue contests to life. I can bet you, in addition to seeing some delicious food and maybe some tips and tricks on how to prepare it, we will probably meet some very interesting characters. And in Memphis particularly, he'll be hosting from the Memphis in May World Championship Barbecue Cooking Contest, and they say it's the largest barbecue competition in the U.S. with over 200 teams. That is a lot of barbecue. Okay, so the show premieres July 11th at 9 p.m. on the Food Network, and episodes will also be streaming on Discovery Plus. And when I think of barbecue, sometimes I think of a good cocktail, and if your cocktail of choice is Jack Daniel's and Coke, you are going to be able to get that pre-mixed. It's something that the makers of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey and Coca-Cola have decided to come together on because of the huge popularity in these pre-mixed drinks. White Claw immediately comes to mind, and I have to say, if you're going to meet up with friends, if you're going to a place where adult beverages will be consumed, there is something to be said for the convenience of grabbing something that is pre-packaged and put together, if you are of age and able to do that. So, Coke and the makers of Jack Daniel's are getting in on that, and that will be coming sooner rather than later. First, they will be launching, I believe, in Mexico. Yes, they're launching in Mexico later this year, and then we'll also have a zero sugar version, and then it will be coming here after the initial launch in Mexico. So if that's your beverage of choice, you'll be able to get it pre-mixed. One more thing to let you know before we go here, especially with that hot weather coming very soon, there is a trick to using your ceiling fan to keep it cooler in your home. Set it to spin counterclockwise, and right now I'm thinking about what way my ceiling fan spins, and I will definitely be checking that when I get home tonight. And here is why. The U.S. Department of Energy says that ceiling fans circulate the air in a room, they create a draft throughout the room, and Home Depot says if you spin your fan counterclockwise, the blades push cooler air down in a column, and that makes the air feel cooler than it is. And they said in contrast, if in the winter you set your fan to spin clockwise, it pulls cool air up toward the ceiling, which pushes that warmer air down, and it can make it feel warmer than it is. So, moral of the story, in the summertime, make sure your ceiling fans are set to spin counterclockwise. Now you know. That's from our Verify team. All right, that's it for your 3 News Now update today for Tuesday, June 14th. Also, note for you today, the 3 Things to Know podcast came out today. If you're interested in the fashion industry, make sure you check that out at WKYC.com/3 Things to Know. Talking with an incredible person. Her name is Ayman Ali, and she is the founder of Fashion Talks, and she's got a huge event coming here on Sunday, June 19th at the Cleveland Museum of Art. So make sure you check that out. All right, I will see you back here tomorrow for more 3 News Now.